Start of the game for Brainerd Peewee B1 versus Rock Ridge at the District 15 tournament. Bennett Lick in the neutral zone dumps it into the Rock Ridge zone on goal as Hokanson puts on the forecheck pressure. Along with Navy Anderson, Bentley Rife down there. Rock Ridge clears it up the wall. Deeks past Hokanson and Rock Ridge through the neutral zone. In on the right side, chasing down the defenseman Bennett Lick. Chipped out to Hokanson by Wyatt Jones. Rock Ridge picks up the loose puck. Shot on goal, the save by Joe Johnson. Wyatt Jones through the neutral zone, dumps it in deep. The Brainerd goes off for a line change. Rock Ridge out to neutral zone. Pass Moores up the middle. Angled wide by Henson and missed pass. Kept in by Rock Ridge. Campbell bumps the player off the puck. Puck into the left corner. Henson up the wall to Moores. Moores forward to Fearbin. Fearbin to Friesen with a breakaway. Off the post. Friesen picks up the rebound, carries it out to the D, and passes it out to neutral zone. Dumped in by Henson offside. Puck out front in the Brainerd zone. Rock Ridge shot on goal, covered by Johnson for a whistle. Face off in the Brainerd zone. Fearbin to Lick up the wall to Moores. Moores dumps it down deep in the Rock Ridge zone. Fearbin on the far wall sends it up to Lick. Lick keeps it in, dumps it up the middle. Turned over to Rock Ridge. Moores with a back check. The Rock Ridge able to get out and into the Brainerd zone. Cut off by Lick. Steals the puck away. Lick up the middle, center ice. Over to Moores. He gets tied up on the wall. Friesen tries to dump it in deep, but it bounces off a helmet out to neutral zone. Lick dumps it down deep in the Rock Ridge zone as Hokanson races in for it, along with Moores. Rock Ridge sends it up the far wall. Friesen brings it around to the other side. Picked up by Moores on the wall. Out to Jones. Jones back to Moores. Moores centering pass goes through the slot to the far side. Nobody got a stick on it. Rock Ridge clears it out to neutral zone. Jones has to race back to retrieve it. Jones off the wall, sends it down ice into the Rock Ridge zone. Frericks pressuring. Rock Ridge clears it out to neutral zone, picked up by Jones. Jones to Lick. Lick to Hokanson, tips it forward for Hansky. Rock Ridge clears it out. Rock Ridge in on the left side. Past Henson. Shot on goal. Save, and they score on the rebound. Face-off to Henson, over to Campbell. Campbell sends it forward for Fearbin. Out of his reach, turned over to Rock Ridge. They send it back the other way. Loose puck, center ice, picked up by Rock Ridge. They're offsides as they enter the zone. Frericks into the neutral zone. In on the right side, Frericks heads towards the slot. Loose puck out front. Archie Fearman scores for Brainerd. Fearman wins the faceoff to Henson, to Campbell, back over to Henson, missed pass, sends it up the wall to Frericks. Frericks bats it into zone, sent back out by Rock Ridge. Henson, center ice, tied up, and Rock Ridge dumps it in, picked up by Campbell. Campbell spins off a defender down low, centering pass by Rock Ridge, comes out up high, they dump it into the corner. Henson spins off of Rockridge player, up to Frericks. Frericks chips it forward into the neutral zone and turns it over to Rockridge as Brainerd line change comes out. Rockridge up the middle, center ice, in down the right side, cut off by Lick. To Anderson. Anderson tips it forward to Hokanson. Hokanson in on the right side, centering pass to Anderson. Anderson not able to get a shot off as he's tied up, and puck turned over to Rockridge. Rockridge out to neutral zone. Off of Lick's skate, Jones tips it forward to Rife. Rife to Anderson. Missed pass, turned over to Rockridge. Poke check by Jones. Rockridge still controlling the puck in the Brainerd zone. Shot on goal, swept away by Johnson into the corner. Jones picks it up. Out to Rife. Rife not able to catch the pass. Jones sweeps the puck into the Rockridge zone. Puck dumped in deep in the Brainerd zone by Rockridge. Jones back to Lick. Lick up the wall to Anderson. Anderson trying to chip it forward. Hokanson picks it up. Hokanson in on the left side. He's got Rife on the right. Over to Rife, just out of Rife's reach. Rife battling in the corner. Rockridge sends it up the far wall. Poked out to neutral zone. Picked up by Jones, back in the Brainerd zone. He sends it up to Campbell. Missed pass, picked up by Rife. Rife sends it back to Fearman. Fearman in the neutral zone. Heads into the Rockridge zone on the right side. Passes it to Friesen. Bounces off his stick. Turned over to Rockridge. Moores steals it away. Shot by Moores. Goes just wide. Fearman centers it to Friesen. He gets tied up. Rockridge steals it away. Fearman with a forecheck. Slows him down, but Rockridge heads into the Brainerd zone. Henson angles him wide on the left side, not able to get a shot off. They dump it in deep and send it out to the point. Dump back down low on the right side. Centering pass, guy coming up the middle. It bounces off his skate and on goal, covered by Johnson. How you doing? How you doing? Okay, nice. Where's that at? Oh, nice.
So that's nice.
Yeah.
You get to drive back and forth.
Cool. Moores in the Brainerd zone. Puck pops out. Swept away by Lick. Out to the point. Rockridge keeps it in. Shot from the left wing circle. Stopped by Jones. Jones sends it up the wall. Puck dumped down low. Centering pass. Puck in the corner. Jones up to Moores. Moores kicks it forward, but Rockridge keeps it in. Lick races down low, picks it up behind the net, sends it up to Friesen. Friesen off the wall at the neutral zone for Hokanson. Hokanson in on the left side. He's got Moores come down the middle. And Hokan's cut off. And puck bounces out across the blue line. Jones picks it up. Jones. Rock Ridge, left wing circle, slap shot, saved by Johnson. Rebound picked up by Friesen. Friesen out across the blue line into the neutral zone. In on the right side, Friesen cuts towards the middle. It's poked off his stick as he hits the slot. Rock Ridge with the puck now in their own zone. Hokinson tying him up in the corner. Out to Jones. Jones out to Jones. Friesen. And Rock Ridge intercepts. Rock Ridge dumps it in deep in the Brainerd zone. Jones picks it up. Up the wall. Rock Ridge keeps it in. Sends it back down to Jones. Shot on goal, stick saved by Johnson. Hokinson to Furix. Furix poked off his stick in the Brainerd zone. Pass into the middle, goes wide. Rock Ridge dumps it back in the left corner. Furix kept in by Rock Ridge. They're loose out front. Backhand shot on goal, saved by Johnson. Fearbin, face off in the Brainerd zone. Fearbin trying to clear it out, kept in by Rock Ridge. Furix picks up the loose puck, poked off his stick. Henson down low, spins off of the Rock Ridge defender, sends it over to Campbell. Campbell up the wall and out to neutral zone, past Hansky. Fearbin races in for it. Hansky pokes it across the blue line into the Rock Ridge zone. They send it back out. Henson has to race back to retrieve it in the Brainerd zone. Campbell to Fearbin up the middle. Eesh. Hansky on the wall. Fearbin to Campbell. Campbell tied up, not able to get out of the zone. Sent out to neutral zone by Furix and into the Rock Ridge zone. Fearbin races in for it. Fearbin shot on goal. Rebound into the right corner. Rock Ridge skates it out. Henson back all alone. Pass through the slot. Missed by Rock Ridge. Goes wide. Fearbin sends it out to the point. Pokes across the blue line by Hansky. Fearbin sweeps it out. Rock Ridge dumps it in deep. Campbell knocks down a player, no penalty. Anderson to Rife. Rife center ice. Back to Campbell. Campbell backhand shot on goal. Glove save by Rock Ridge goalie. Hokinson on the face-off, backhand shot right on goal. Hokinson again. Into the corner. Hokinson and Rife digging it out. Rife. Rock Ridge wins the battle on the boards. They skate it out to neutral zone. In on the left side. Jones cuts him off. Pass out front. Comes out to the right D. Shot wide. Jones on the rebound. Up the wall to Rife. Rife fumbles. Hokinson chips it out. That was kept in. And loose puck picked up by Lick. Lick to Anderson. Anderson tries to send it up the middle. It's intercepted. Rock Ridge keeping the puck in the Brainerd zone. and dump it down low across the goal line. Jones up the wall to Rife again. Rife sends it to center ice, turns it over to Rock Ridge. They dump it back in deep. Lick on it. Jones behind the net. Jones sends it forward to Rife. Rife bounces it out to the point, and Rock Ridge dumps it back in deep. Lick up the wall to Anderson in the neutral zone. Anderson chips it across the blue line, gets stopped just inside the blue line. Rock Ridge dumps it down deep behind the Brainerd net. Jones again up the wall to Rife. Rife sends it all the way down ice. And that's icing on Brainerd. Fearbin on the face-off in the Brainerd zone. Rock Ridge poked by Moores. Rock Ridge shot from the blue line was wide. Rebound picked up by their right winger. Shot wide, picked up by Henson behind the net. Henson to Moores. Moores to Friesen. Missed pass by Friesen. Rolls all the way down into the Rock Ridge zone. Friesen tying it up in the corner. Friesen with a stick on it. He's hooked down. No penalty. Loose puck picked up by Fearbin. Fearbin tries to center it and turns it over to Rock Ridge as they head out of the Brainerd zone. Henson loses control, center Brainerd zone. Rock Ridge out to their point. They dump it in over on the right side. Picked up by the right wing. Cut off of center zone. Moores puts it out across the blue line. Looks like they're going to call penalty. Kyle Friesen sent to the box for a checking penalty. Fearbin trying to clear it out. Moores picks it up, sends it out to neutral zone. As Fearbin races down, pressuring them down low in their own zone. Fearbin gets a stick on it, forces them deeper into their zone. They send it up the far wall, tipped out front. Moores with it, over to Fearbin. Fearbin shot way over the net, into the corner. Moores sends it out to Lick at the point. Lick fires. Tipped wide. Moores on the far wall with it. Rock Ridge out to neutral zone. This pass trickles into the Brainerd zone. Picked up by Lick. Lick over to Jones. Jones up to Fearbin. Fearbin dumps it in deep. 4 seconds left in the first, with 26 seconds left in the penalty kill for Brainerd. And that's the buzzer for the end of the first period. Start of the second period, Brainerd Peewee B1 versus Rock Ridge in our second game of the District 15 tournament. Puck in the Rock Ridge zone. Moore sweeps in and steals it away. Out to the point for Jones. Jones, slap shots, blocked out front. Up the wall, Lick dumps it down behind the net. Morris out to Friesen atop of the right ring circle. His shot is tipped wide. Fearbin in after it. Fearbin and Friesen both fall down. Rock Ridge sends it up the wall, kept in by Lick. Lick shot to Friesen. And backhand shot by Friesen is covered for a whistle. Face off right wing circle out to Henson. Henson dumps it down the wall. Hokanson battling for it in the corner. Turned over to Rockridge. Rockridge in on the left side. Knocked off the puck by Reif. Picked up by Henson. Henson up the wall to Anderson. Anderson has to send it back down low. Rockridge with it, out to the point, turned over to Anderson. Anderson out to neutral zone. We got Reif on the right. Anderson over to Reif, and it's out of his reach. Reif retreats into the corner, sends it towards the slot. It's batted down. Rockridge clears it out to neutral zone. Henson over to Campbell, back to Henson. Henson up the center ice to Campbell. Turned over to Rockridge. They head up the middle. Shot on goal. Saved by Johnson. Rebound out front. Covered by Johnson for a whistle. Fearbin on the faceoff in the Brainerd zone to Jones. Jones circles down behind the net. Fumbles the puck. Rockridge sends it down low again. Picked up by Lick this time. Lick sends it up the wall to Frericks. Frericks not able to get a handle on it. Loose puck sent out to center ice by Lick. Rockridge dumps it back in deep. Jones up to Frericks. Frericks chips it down ice. That's going to be an icing. It's covered by the Rockridge goalie for a whistle. Off in the Rockridge zone. Moores on the wall to Friesen. Friesen over to Lick. Lick got some room. Shot on goal. Loose puck out front. Friesen. His shot's deflected wide. Hokanson down low. Sends it behind the net. Rockridge sends it out to the point. Jones. Shot blocked out front. Rebound into the right corner. Moores sends it back out to Jones at the point. Jones sidesteps the defender. Another shot. Blocked out front. Moores fans on it. Rockridge picks up the loose puck, and they send it down ice into the Brainerd zone. Lick. Jones on the wall. Chips it out across the blue line, and Rockridge sends it back in. Lick. Center ice. Goes off of its skates and turned back over to Rockridge. Rockridge up the middle. Poke check by Hokanson, steals it away. Hokanson sends it out to the point. It's kept in by Rockridge. And he steps up and sweeps it across the line. But Rockridge just dumps it back in deep. Rockridge down low in the Brainerd zone. Hokanson, poke check. Loose puck picked up by Jones. Out to Moores. Moores unable to get it out. Shot on goal by Rockridge. Rebound picked back up by Rockridge. Up the middle of the zone, out to the right D. Shot blocked by Lick. Lick with the puck sends it out to neutral zone, but it's turned over to Rockridge again. They step inside the blue line. Shot on goal from the left D position. Jones with the rebound. Up to Moores on the far side wall. Moores tied up, dumps it back down to Jones. Picked up by Hokinson to Friesen. Friesen out across the blue line. Gets tied up in the neutral zone. Rock Ridge. Shot on goal from the red line. Rebound into the corner. Picked up by Lick. Lick sends it up the wall. And Rock Ridge comes away with it. Step towards the center zone. Shot goes high and wide. Jones sends it up the right wall again. Friesen pokes it. And it ends up out in neutral zone, picked up by Rock Ridge. Lick. Tied up in the corner of the Brainerd zone. She sends it to the far wall. Frericks trying to steal it away, but Rock Ridge gets a stick on it. Shot on goal, a glove save by Joe Johnson. Off in the Brainerd zone, Rock Ridge controlling the puck. Campbell sends it up the wall to Reif. Reif not able to control it. Rock Ridge sends it back down low, picked up by Fearbin this time. Drops it to Campbell. Campbell sends it up the wall for Bentley Reif again, but Reif pokes it forward across the blue line, then it's stolen off his stick in the neutral zone. Rock Ridge forced deep into their own zone. Send it up the near wall. Now it's to center ice. Intercepted by Campbell. Campbell dumps it in across the blue line. Frericks on the wall. Fumbles the puck. Rock Ridge rings it around to the near side. Picked up by Reif. He dumps it in deep. Fearbin down low. Tied up. Turned over to Rock Ridge. Rock Ridge out across the blue line. Cut off at the red line. And then they manage to dump it in. Henson with it. Brainerd zone. Out to Reif. Center ice. Reif in on the left side. Spins off a defender. And puck back out to neutral zone. Henson. Spins it up the wall. Battle on the wall in the neutral zone. Pops out to Campbell. Campbell sends it across the zone to Anderson. Anderson chips it across the blue line and races in for it with Hokinson. Campbell still battling. Or no, it's Anderson. Still battling on the wall. And Rock Ridge comes away with it. They circle down behind their own net. Stopped short by Hansky. Hokinson to Campbell. Campbell sends it towards the slot, kicked away, and Rock Ridge sends it all the way down ice. Should be an icing this time. Icing on Rock Ridge. Fearbin to Friesen. Friesen to Lick. She fans on it. Turned over to Rock Ridge. They head out of their zone. Tip forward. Man up the middle. Jones pokes it off his stick. Ends up down low in the Brainerd zone. Jones steals it away. Jones out to neutral zone. In on the right side of the Rock Ridge zone. Jones circling down low. Centering pass to Friesen. Friesen. His shot's tipped up high. Jones picks it up. Out to Lick at the point. Lick sends it back to Jones. Jones tips it. And glove save by Rock Ridge goalie. Nice play there. Fearbin on the face-off. Rock Ridge brings it down. The wall comes out to neutral zone. Lick tries to pass it forward to Friesen, but it's tipped. That's tied up in the neutral zone. Lick and Fearbin battling. Rock Ridge enters the Brainerd zone on the right side, cut off by Fearbin. Centering pass goes through the slot to the far wall. Rock Ridge sends it down behind the Brainerd net. Hops out to the right side. Tipped forward by Friesen. Friesen and Moores. Moores with a breakaway. Nice pass from Friesen and Moores scores. Nice play. Nice tip there from Friesen to Colton Moores. Kicked on the afterburners and beat everybody to the net. Hokinson on the face-off to Frericks. Frericks stolen off his stick. Rock Ridge. Poke check by Henson. His puck into the corner. Puck sent towards the slot. Stopped by Campbell. Henson sends it up the wall to Frericks. Frericks trying to chip it forward. It's tied up on the wall. Frericks with it again. Poked off his stick. Sent to the high slot. Campbell knocks him off the puck. Henson sends it to the far wall. Slap shot from the right D. And stick save by Johnson. Covered for a whistle. Hokinson on the face-off in the Brainerd zone. Henson sends it up the wall to Frericks. Rock Ridge sends it down the wall. They'll come away with it. Shot on goal, rebound up front, through the slot and into the right corner. Frericks pokes it out across the blue line. Hokinson across the blue line. Hokinson in on the left side. He's got Frericks over on the right. He's poked off Hokinson's stick. And the Rock Ridge zone is sent out to center ice. Henson has to race back to retrieve it. Poked off his stick. And Johnson steps up, sweeps it over to the wall. Campbell. Frericks sweeps it out to neutral zone. Rock Ridge, center ice. Into the Brainerd zone on the left side. Henson cuts him off. Their shot goes far and wide. Dumped into the slot. Covered by Johnson for a whistle. Face off in the Brainerd zone. Down low. Shot on goal. Saved by Johnson. Rebound swept to the far wall. Anderson dekes a player. Sends it up the middle. Hansky, missed pass, ends up all the way down ice. It's an icing on Brainerd. Fearbin to Jones. Jones up the wall to Hansky. Rock Ridge tries to stop it, but Hansky pokes it out across the blue line. Jones up the wall through the neutral zone to Anderson. Gets it across the blue line, but sent back out by Rock Ridge. Jones skates it in, drops it to Fearbin. Fearbin sends it down low. Jones battling down behind the net. Fearbin gets a stick on it. And loose puck picked up by Rock Ridge as they skate it out. Friesen waiting for Fearbin to come out, dumps it down deep. And Fearbin turns back in along with Moores. Rock Ridge, the far side, sends it out to center ice. Missed pass, goes all the way down in the Brainerd zone. Lick races down for it. Lick to Moores. Moores to Friesen. Friesen across the blue line, up to Hokinson. Hokinson in on the left side, not able to settle the puck to Friesen at center zone. Friesen, center pass to Moores, and it's swept away just in the nick of time. Hokinson out to Lick. Lick shot, hits a man. And Rock Ridge trying to clear it out. And get it out across the blue line. Hokinson with a poke check in the neutral zone. Rock Ridge, Hoganson with another poke check. Hoganson with it, fumbles it. Rock Ridge sends it deeper in the Brainerd zone. Friesen sends it all the way down ice for an icing on Brainerd. Face off in the Brainerd zone. 2:49 left in the second. Out to the point. Rock Ridge shot hits traffic. Swept into the corner. Henson tying him up for Fearbin. Fearbin comes away with the puck. Fearbin sends it out to neutral zone for Reif. Reif has to race for it. Rock Ridge gets it. Dump it back. Picked up by Fearbin in the neutral zone. Over to Frericks. Frericks across the blue line to Reif. Reif up the middle. It's tied up. Fumbles the puck and it ends up on goal where it gets covered. End of the play. Fearbin on the faceoff. Rock Ridge. Pokes it past Henson. Campbell racing back to try and catch him, but shot on goal. Saved by Johnson. And covered for a whistle. Face off in the Brainerd zone, out to the point. Shot on goal, stick save, and covered. Hoganson on the face-off. Henson down low. Spins away. Sends it back to the corner for Reif. Reif picks it up. Reif heads out of zone. Reif out in neutral zone. Center ice. Across the blue line. Gets tied up. Loose puck. Frericks got a stick on him, but Rock Ridge steals it. Slap shot from outside the neutral zone. Goes wide. Rebound. Henson up to Reif. Or Campbell up to Reif. Reif loses the pass. Turned over to Rock Ridge. Rock Ridge out to neutral zone and all the way down ice for icing on Rock Ridge. Hoganson on the faceoff, wins it into the corner. Rock Ridge sends it behind their net to the far corner. Anderson stops them. They have to send it back the other way. Hansky races up to the wall. Rock Ridge sends it out to center ice. Jones there to retrieve it. Jones over to Lick. Lick up the middle. Missed pass by Hoganson. Turned over to Rock Ridge. They dump it in. Sent back out by Jones. Anderson flicks it forward, turns it over to Rock Ridge in their own zone. And Rock Ridge, this pass ends up on Lick's stick. Jones fumbles the puck. Rock Ridge down low, centering pass, swept away by Lick. Anderson heads out of the Brainerd zone. And on the right side, Anderson gets tied up at the hash marks, and Rock Ridge heads back the other way. Anderson chasing after him. Jones and Lick are there. Jones cuts him off. And Anderson sends it up the near side wall. Hansky out across the blue line. Ties it up in the neutral zone. Rock Ridge bounces it off the wall into the Brainerd zone. Picked up by Lick. Lick. Sends it out high to the right side, left side, and shot on goal with a pad save by Joe Johnson. That's the end of the second period. starting face-off for the third period. Friesen poked off his stick, chipped in across the blue line by Hokanson, turned over to Rock Ridge. Rock Ridge sends it back out. Moores and Hokanson tying it up on the wall. Rock Ridge comes away with it. They head into the Brainerd zone on the left side. Pass over to the right. Campbell angling them wide. Pass through the slot. Loose puck. Rock Ridge dumps it in deep. Campbell tries to send it up the wall. Rock Ridge player there to send it back down low. Up to Friesen. Friesen off the wall. Past two players. Friesen out to neutral zone. Friesen and Moores with Hokanson and Campbell trailing. Friesen shot on goal is covered for a whistle. Fearbin on the faceoff to Frericks. His shot stopped. Rock Ridge gets it out across the blue line into the neutral zone, stolen away by Rife. Rife dumps it back in deep. And Rock Ridge back to retrieve it. Fearbin with a poke check, bouncing puck, center zone. Frericks sends it over to the corner. Rock Ridge sends it up the wall. Jones sends it over to the far corner. Rock Ridge able to clear it out and send it down ice. They're saying no icing. Picked up by Jones. Jones to Frericks, missed pass. Turned over to Rock Ridge. Rock Ridge dumps it across the blue line. Jones sends it back out. Kept in by Frericks. Rock Ridge out to the point. Jones not quite able to keep it in. Brainerd offsides. Hokanson to Anderson. Anderson up the middle. Shot, stick save by Rock Ridge. Anderson on the rebound in the corner. Hokanson to Hansky. Hansky to Lick. Lick over to Jones. Jones shot, saved and covered for a whistle. Hokanson on the face-off. Rock Ridge sends it out to the center ice. Campbell racing back for it. He's got a man trailing him. Campbell knocked down. Slap shot from the right wing circle. Not much on it. Ends up in the left corner. Sent back to Campbell. Hansky tips it out into the neutral zone. Hansky racing for it. Rock Ridge sends it back. Campbell, center ice. He's tied up. Rock Ridge dumps it in deep in the Brainerd zone. Henson back to retrieve it. Henson spins away, up to Hansky. Hansky to Hokanson. Hokanson knocked off the puck, center ice. Hansky pokes it across the blue line. Shot, stick save by Rock Ridge. Anderson trying to center it. It hits the back of the goalie and ends up behind the net. Rock Ridge sends it up the far wall. Tied up by Fearbin, but they're able to get it out to center ice. Poke check by Campbell, loosens the puck up for Anderson. Anderson dumps it in deep in the Rock Ridge zone. Fearbin down low. Rock Ridge sends it into the right corner as they try to clear it out. Rock Ridge, center ice. Campbell and Henson are back. Dumped on goal, swept away by Johnson into the left corner. Henson and Fearbin with Moores. Henson sends it up the wall to Moores. Moores dekes around a player and out to neutral zone. Moores and Friesen head down ice with one defender. Oh, pass by Moores. Tipped to Fearbin. Fearbin shot over the net. Fearbin picks up the rebound down low and he gets tied up. Moores races in to help. Moores steals the puck away. Out to Jones. Jones back to Moores. Moores shot on goal is covered for a whistle. Fearbin on the faceoff. Morris out to Jones. Jones into the slot. Shot by Fearbin. A pad save by Rockridge goalie. Rebound picked up by Rockridge. Fearbin ties him up. Loose puck sent to the far wall. Picked up by Friesen. Friesen up the middle. Backhand shot saved. And covered for a whistle. 10:45 left in the game. Hoganson on the faceoff. Out to Lick. Lick. Shot. Tipped wide. Into the corner. Frericks and Hoganson. Reif steps up. Sweeps it down. Out to Hoganson out front. Hoganson shot. Just tipped wide. Hoganson turns the puck over to Rockridge. And they head down ice. Not able to control the puck. Picked back up by Hoganson as he skates out of the Brainerd zone. Over to Reif. Reif. In across the blue line, deeks towards the middle and loses control of the puck as it rolls into the left corner. And Lick stops it at the red line. Lick heads into the zone on the left side. Lick to Reif out front. Reif, his shot deflected wide. Rockridge with the puck now in their own zone. Tied up by Reif on the wall. They head back the other way. Around the wall to Lick. Lick down low to Reif. Reif spins. His shot's deflected up into the air and settled by the goalie for a whistle. Fearbin on the faceoff. Out to Campbell. Campbell over to Henson. Henson beats the defender. Shot. Hits traffic out front. Out to Henson at the point again. Tries to dump it in deep, but it hits a skate, and Rockridge heads down ice. In on the right side. Backhand shot on goal is held by Johnson for a whistle. Face off in the Brainerd zone. Out to the point. Rockridge dumps it in down behind the net. Picked up by Henson. Henson sends it up the wall to Anderson. Anderson tips it forward. Fearbin at the red line. Fearbin down ice. Deeks towards the... Oh! Band on the deke, but good move. Jones dumps it down low. Fearbin and Hansky. Hansky dumps it into the corner. Not much on it. Fearbin battling in the left corner. The Rockridge zone. Loose puck picked up by a second Rockridge player. He sends it around behind the net and up the near side wall. Out to center ice. Campbell to Henson. Henson back to Campbell. Campbell to Hansky. Missed pass. Turned over to Rockridge. They chip it forward. It's intercepted by Campbell. Campbell to Henson. Henson out to neutral zone, turns it over to Rockridge. They head in on the left side. Henson cuts him off. Shot on goal, swept up by Johnson for a whistle. Face off in the Brainerd zone. Hoganson to Jones. Jones sends it behind the net for Lick on the far corner. Lick out to the neutral zone. Stopped by Rockridge. They try to dump it back in. Lick sends it further down ice. Rockridge across the blue line. Missed pass picked up by Moores. Moores in across the blue line. Hoganson's just off sides. Hoganson over to Moores. Moores dumps it into the Rock Ridge zone. Rock Ridge, nice forecheck by Hokanson. Hokanson with a puck down low now. Sweeps it out to center zone, picked up by Lick. Lick to Jones, tipped forward by Rock Ridge. Now it's a 2-on-0 breakaway for Rock Ridge. And saved by Johnson, and rebound shot was wide. Rock and puck sent all the way down ice by Friesen for a whistle. Great goaltending by Joe Johnson. Fearbin on the faceoff to Frericks. Frericks trying to get it across the blue line. He does. And out to neutral zone, but it's turned over to Rock Ridge. They send it back in on the right side. Campbell. Rock Ridge pokes it down deep. Rock Ridge behind the Brainerd net. Fearbin ties them up. Rock Ridge steps up, and their shot's deflected behind the net. Centering pass, nobody there. Rife scooped it up the wall, and Frericks carries it out. Poked off Frericks' stick. Rock Ridge heads back in. Rife back check. Rock Ridge still controlling back in. Nice score. Hokanson on the face-off, across the blue line over to Friesen. Friesen loses control of it and dumps it down deep. Hokanson down low.
With the assistant number 11, Marshall Hathaway.
Moore's in the corner. Moore's checked off the puck, and Rock Ridge clears it out. Rock Ridge out to neutral zone. Lick with a stick on it, sends it back up the wall. Friesen in across the blue line, passes it forward, intercepted by Rock Ridge. They head down ice, 1-on-2. Shot high over the net. Rebound swept out to the wall for Moores. Shot from the point. Intercepted by Jones. Jones off the wall out to neutral zone. Friesen tips it forward. Friesen down low. He's got Moores out front and not able to get a stick on it. Friesen gonna get a penalty here as he checks the Rock Ridge player. Tied Friesen back into the box. So this is a tie game. 5:57 left in the game. And we are playing Wadena, not Rock Ridge. Sorry, I screwed that up the whole game. Face off in the Brainerd zone. Brainerd on the penalty kill. Jones tied up in the corner. Puck pops out. Moores sends it off the wall. Rock Ridge sweeps it back down along the wall. Out to their lefty. Shot ends up high, batted down by Jones. He tries to sweep it out. It's kept in at the blue line. Jones to Moores. Moores across the blue line. Moores tries to get it to Fearman, but hits a skate. Moores over to Fearman, hits the skate again. And loose puck picked up by Wadena. Wadena out to center ice, stolen away by Lick. Lick sends it up the wall. Wadena chasing Brainerd back, but Fearman sends it all the way down ice. Fearman to Moores. Moores dumps it in deep into the Wadena zone, down behind the net. Moores with the forecheck pressure, but Wadena able to clear it out to center ice. Lick chipped out to neutral zone by Fearman. Wadena tries to head into zone. Nice poke check by Moores. Lick out to neutral zone. And Wadena, with only 10 seconds left in the power play, Jones intercepts at the neutral zone. Jones beats towards the middle. He's checked down. That should be a penalty, yeah. I think so. 4-on-4 for 4 seconds. That's the end of the penalty for Brainerd. So Brainerd power play now for a minute 22. Friesen steps up and scores. Friesen coming right out of the penalty box. Gets a pass, I think, from Hokinson down low and scores bar down. Puts Brainerd up 3-2 with 4:19 left. Face-off. Wadena, poke check by Moores, steals the puck by Moores, chips it in across the blue line. Wadena in to retrieve it, but Moores pressuring. They send it up along the far wall. Campbell keeps it in. Down low to Friesen. Friesen poked off his stick, and puck pops out. Wadena with the puck. They send it out to neutral zone. Henson up the wall to Moores. Moores tied up at the red line. Hokinson bats it forward to Moores, and Moores again tied up on the blue line to Hokinson. Hokinson dumps it in deep. Wadena deep in their own zone. They send it up the wall, kept in by Campbell. Campbell shot on goal, held for a whistle. Hansky in the corner. Fearman battling. Wadena out across the blue line. Pass up the middle. Missed and goes all the way down into the Brainerd zone. Picked up by Henson. No icing. Henson over to Campbell. Campbell back to Henson down low. Henson sends it back. Hansky scoots it out across the blue line. Fearman races for it. It's turned over to Wadena. They head up the middle, back into the Brainerd zone. Henson up to Hansky. Hansky fumbles the puck on the wall and manages to sweep it out down ice. Icing is waved off as Anderson races in for it. Wadena sweeps it up the wall, kept in by Rife. Anderson tying it up on the wall with Fearman. Fearman comes away with it to Rife. Rife knocked off the puck and Wadena sweeps it out across the blue line, 1-on-1. The Lick back. Now it's 2-on-1. Shot is wide. Picked up down low by Lick. Lick up the near side wall to Rife. Missed pass turned over to Wadena. They circle back into the Brainerd zone up the middle. Cut off by Lick. Ends up on goal. Swept wide by Johnson. And sent out and down ice by Rife. That's an icing on Brainerd. 1:59 left. Face off in the Brainerd zone. Hoganson on the face-off. Morris tips it into the corner. Jones sweeps it behind the Brainerd net for Lick. Lick up the wall to Friesen. Missed pass. Wadena dumps it down deep. Jones sends it up off the glass. Takes a funny bounce. Ends up center zone. Lick sends it down ice. No icing as Friesen's going to get his stick on it first. Friesen down low in the Wadena zone behind the net. Friesen tying it up in the corner. Morris steps in to help along with Hokanson. And Friesen at the point. Shot held for a whistle. Face off in the Wadena zone. Morris to Henson. Henson shot. Stick save. Ends up in the right or left corner. Friesen races in to tie it up. It pops out Friesen with a stick on it. Got a man on him. Backhand shot by Friesen. Pad save. Ends back up in the left corner. Hokenson's checked down. And that's going to be a penalty on Wadena for checking. Sending them both to the box, I guess. Timeout for Brainerd. Face-off in the neutral zone. Wadena across the blue line. Shot. Stick save. Friesen sweeps it to the far wall. Wadena on the right wing circle. Shot blocked. Ball pops out to the point. Another shot deflected up high and swept up the near side wall by Jones and down ice. Open net on the Wadena end. Wadena out to the point, missed by Jones, picked up by Wadena. Lick races back, nice job, Lick. Almost a breakaway there. Up on the wall, and the Brainerd zone over to the right side, and missed pass by Wadena. They trumped it out to the point. shot into the slot. Saved by Johnson. The shot up close. Up loose in the slot again. Covered by, nope. And that's the game. Brainerd wins 3-2.